course, you wouldn't believe in ghosts. I'm an angel.
Here,
An angel.
now wait, hold on a minute, Tommy. You trying to make me, your brother, believe that you're an angel?
That's... Well, I can't fly real good, but I'm an angel. I'm a real angel.
That's right.
Somebody big just died. Tom Smothers, the comedian who rose to fame as half of the musical duo, the Smothers Brothers, is dead at 86 years old. Here to help eulogize him is Mike North. Mike, how are you, my friend?
Well, I'm good, but you know what? During the holidays, these things happen. There's no day off.
That's
For
right.
the Grim Reaper, as I've told you many times, Joe.
Yeah.
I designed this just like a plumber. Basically, you need a plumber, folks, no matter what. I said, well, what else do we need? We need somebody that's going to pay attention and give a send-off that is proper but accurate, okay? Because I know you'll hear dribs and pieces about everybody, and it's all come out the way I knew it. We give you more information here on somebody big just died than you'll get anywhere else. They're, I mean, half these people don't even know. I mean, the people that were assigned to look up this guy, okay, never heard of him probably, okay, 25 years old. I saw the shows. I remember the controversies. That's what I'm here for.
That's right.
Okay, and hopefully for a long time. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Hope you did, Joe, and your family.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. Cumberland, you know what's going to happen? You know it's going to happen sooner or later. Make your plans. I make your plans. I bought 2 plots back in the day. I said to my mom, I brought her, I said, what do you think? I got a tombstone right here. It says Don North. Boom. Right? With the year and the date.
Yep.
When he was born, when he died. I said, I was thinking, should we carve your name in and put when you were born? So if down the line, she goes, no, thank you. It will remain blank until I exit. So everybody's got their different needs. And Cumberland Chapels in 8300 West Lawrence, they answer all your needs, okay? They are the Rolls Royce, the Cadillac, top of the
best.
The best of the best, okay? So check them out right there at cumberlandchapels.com. Then, oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I frequent the sponsors that come here, except Cumberland Chapels. I don't.
I hope not.
I just walk through and go, how's everybody doing? I'm making an appearance or something. No. But then you have Pennyville Station. Jesse Rogers, my buddy, longtime friend, and his wife Tracy and BB and I went there last night, 112 Main Street. Oh, prime rib special, ladies and gentlemen, with the cauliflower broccoli dish. Oh, and then, they have sliders. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Miniature sliders, outstanding. The fish, shrimp, Cajun stuff. I saw Tony Antonacci. Thanked him very much.
Lobster
Tino.
roll.
Oh, the lobster roll, which I tried to, there's a submarine sandwich named after me at Tony's Deli, which isn't far from there, called the Pappy Sub. We're going to try to get the Mandel lobster roll. Okay?
Oh, there you go.
There you go. So that's where you go. A great place. The menu's up and everything else. Just check it out at beautifulpennyvillestation.com. Okay. And on Twitter, and check out the picture on the north of me and Jesse. Later on, put a couple up of Jesse's wife and Evie and them. And hey, take it easy with the okay. I'm talking about my wife over here. Oh, wait, I misread it. Look at that. No, anyway, let's get to Tommy Smothers.
Oh, yeah.
And when you think of great teams, now they were musicians, they were folk music guys. But when you think of great teams, okay, you think of Abbott and Costello, you think of Laurel and Hardy, you think of the Three Stooges if you want to go more than 2, the Marx Brothers if you want to go more than 3. You never, very rarely hear people the best that ever did it or the best top 5 or not was the Smothers Brothers. They just weren't built that way because they were built a lot like, I guess, I liked them, admired them more for what they did and how they fought management. And I know that anybody that's ever worked with me, I mean, I'm a lamb now. But back in the day, I protested things with management. I fought management. I read where Tommy Smothers did all the negotiation for the Smothers Brothers. I did my own negotiations. Never had an agent except for my wife, and we just commiserated together. These guys, Tommy was the brains, okay, for the most part. He did the negotiations. And they protested. They didn't start out this way, but when it came to sex, religion, anything,
Politics.
politics for sure, CBS, and what a surprise this is. I worked for CBS, folks, not only CBS TV, but I worked for CBS for a time that when they bought the score. So the fact that the Smothers Brothers were ostracized because, you know, CBS is the censors and CBS stood behind them, didn't want, you know, a lot about Vietnam and didn't want a lot about the politics of it and didn't want a lot about religion. And these guys wanted to do that. And like Tommy Smothers said, you know, he got in a tiff with Bill Cosby because Cosby thought, he said to Bill Cosby, guess what? You should do something on your show. And Cosby took offense to that. And in fact, Cosby at a party at the Playboy Mansion in 1976 gotten punched Tommy Smothers.
Yes, he did.
So the guy was an idiot back then. We just didn't know it. Okay. I'm talking about Bill Cosby. He was born February 2nd, 1937. Died December 26, yes, at 86, Santa Rosa, California. He was born Governor's Island in New York. I guess I would say, you know, he played the dummy. He played the little lightheaded guy. If we got any clips, do we have a clip of the performing here that we could get a hold of here, Joe?
We had the clip in the open. Let me see if I can.
Maybe we could find something else. I didn't think to ask you about that, but even if we can't, he played the guy that would be the foil to his brother Dick. Okay. He was active, but these guys were blackballed, folks. They did not have consistent success. I know he did voice work. I know he was on some shows, but the Smothers Brothers, in fact, I'll ask you, Joe, where do they stand in your pantheon of all-time comedians, or haven't heard about them? I mean, did you always go to yourself, oh boy, the Smothers Brothers, what happened to them, or did you not hear?
Yeah, no, honestly, Mike, if I'm being completely honest with you, they were never even on my radar. But like,
exactly right.
I know him more for his relationship with John Lennon and playing guitar on "Give Peace a Chance," and kind of laying in bed with him and Yoko and all those people and those pictures.
Yeah, because he was an accomplished guitar player too. He was he played. He was a unicyclist.
Yeah.
I mean, a champion. I don't know where they hang out, the champion unicyclist, but this guy was a man of many talents, and you're right about that. Also, he broke in so many new acts.
Yes,
I
mean, they did.
Yeah, the Who.
The Who's probably their biggest.
He got hurt. Keith Moon, they had explosives, and Keith Moon added, and they kept in, and you could see at the end where Keith Moon screams or moans because the explosives just went off too much. So they did a lot of breaking in of new talent, if you will. I'm trying to find what I have here. I don't know why.
To Wikipedia,
here we go.
Smothers III was an American comedian.
I'm looking up where they had their.
According to Wikipedia,
I love this woman.
According to
Here we go.
Wikipedia, Tom.
I'm looking up the Smothers Brothers.
According to Wikipedia,
real quick, Mike, you also mentioned that he was a unicyclist. He's also a state champion gymnast on the parallel bars. So this guy could do it all.
He was an athlete, you know, but on the show, he came across like a little really light in the head. And, you know, Mom liked me better than you and all this other nonsense. Now, Dick Smothers, okay, his surviving brother. If everybody remembers, I love Dick Smothers for one reason only. He played the senator in Casino.
Oh, that's
he
right.
Played the senator in Casino. And the senator, by the way, folks, is Harry Reid. In that, it's a portrayal
It's exactly what that is. Yep.
Of Harry Reid. That's what it is. And there's no denying it. He was the power broker that got chips, got all the stuff going there. That's how I liked him. But these guys, professionally, he said he was active for 40, 50 years, but they weren't that active that much.
No. And Mike, I want to circle back for a second because they were very proactive about speaking out against the Vietnam War.
Right.
And part of the reason they got fired from CBS. And before we get to a clip of the Smothers Brothers talking about that, I got to ask you, Mike, what was it like back then? What kind of anxiety did you have about being drafted? And then what did the Smothers Brothers mean to you in their protest?
Well, the anxiety about being drafted was paramount. I took a chance as usual. I took a gamble and I lost. I dropped out of high school. Then they said, if you joined the National Guard, you got to spend 6 years and go on weekends. And then you go away each summer, or you take a chance and you hope you don't get drafted, and where you'd have to do 2 years. I said, I'm not married to nothing for 6 years. Forget about it. So I'm going to take a chance. I'm the only guy out of my group. There was like 16 that got the low number, 45. Luck wasn't exactly going my way at that point. So I almost end up going to Vietnam. Nixon puts the freeze in. But during that time, the Smothers Brothers were basically, the comedy hour started around, I think, 1967. Okay. I got drafted in 1972 or in 1971, went in 72. So, yeah, I mean, we knew about the protests, but, there was a lot of us that were stupid. My dad, who wanted me to go for the draft card, I mean, he used to see the shows too, but he was more of a hawk. But then once it became a reality that I was drafted, he wasn't such a hawk anymore. He was upset a little bit. So Tommy Smothers spoke out just like, for a lot of people who lost 57,000 kids in that war. So that's where the influence was. It wasn't on stage, Joe. It wasn't on them on TV for me. It was the causes that they rooted for. So he was a guitarist. He was a vocalist. He was married 3 times. Stephanie Short from 63 to 71. Rochelle Roby from 74 to 76. That was a short one.
Yeah.
Hell, I went study with somebody longer than that back in the day. Marcy Carricker, and he was married to her from 1990 on. But they did have a lot of struggles in their life, but they were principled. They gave up a big chunk of their career. They could have made millions and millions of more. They could have gone to Vegas for the next 30 years if they just toed the line.
But they wanted to speak the truth, Mike.
They can sleep at night, Joe. That's what I always say.
And
you know what? There's an old saying, and I saw it on Twitter. Would you rather have an honest enemy or a lying friend? And you know what? I've always been the honest one. He was honest. They were honest. They were honored at TV Land, which was awesome. They were terrific entertainers.
Oh, yeah.
And he was very bitter so it took them years because basically they had the door shut on him. And it takes time if you have any kind of entertainment vehicle. If you think that you're going to be forgotten, if that bothers you, I think that what happened to them, they thought a lot of it happened because of the press and off the show.
Yeah.
Because if they were censored, okay, it wasn't because of stuff said on the show. It was about stuff that was said off the show. This might be the Smothers Brothers. They're calling me right now. Hold on.
And that's all right, Mike, because we actually have the Smothers Brothers talking on David Letterman about being censored, about on-air and off-air conversation. Here's a quick little clip from when they were interviewed by Dave Letterman talking about getting fired from CBS. So let's take a look at that.
So once we did it and did the show, they started complaining about the type of material we were doing. And there was no controversy in except what they created.
It's amazing because we were saying things on our show.
He's
Yeah.
not making a statement on the show. He's making off this back.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
He
very
gets canned for saying things off the air, and we got for saying on the
He's
air.
very righteous. too.
What did that do to your? At what point did you realize you had an uphill battle on your hands there?
A tiger by the tail.
And we noticed it about the third show into the first season.
We argued about content a lot on the show, but we agreed on what we wanted to say. I just want to say it for a longer period of time, make more money.
But what happened was that Dick and I are closer because of that show, and it's really a break to have a brother that you can relate to, particularly.
So wild that
They're not happy. They weren't happy. I mean, they're
No,
still
and-
talking about it.
and they were mad that they got fired for talking about stuff off the air, which is like, I think, and it's crazy to say this, Mike, but I think a group like them, an act like theirs, would thrive better in like a modern times because they could speak their mind. Back then, you really couldn't.
But can you really speak your mind even now? Look, at they got
You
canceled.
can,
back
but you
then.
can't.
Yeah, they got canceled back then, and now they're canceled. You know, in 2023, hundreds of people from the entertainment industry on that used to work on a regular basis. So it hasn't changed all that much. It was too much for the corporation, though, at that time. Corporations weren't as involved, except a few in entertainment, you know, ABC, CBS, NBC. Fox wasn't even around yet, barely.
Right.
Okay. So there was 3 major stations. When you got on one of them, if you lost that gig, you might be finished. Okay.
And that's kind of what
Because
happened.
you were as famous as movie stars. Because I heard even Kirk Douglas say this. He appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show. He appeared on the on some other Milton Berle shows because his mother said, you appear in one movie a year. 30 million people were watching, you know, Milton Berle and some of these other things. So these guys gave up a lot. They were blackballed. But he even admits that he was bitter and he stopped being funny after they were canned from the show. He became a serious political activist almost, and that hurt the brand. Oh, yeah, they had George Harrison on, they had John Lennon on, they had The Who on, they had everybody on. Yoko Ono, look at her. Yeah, you know, so, and then you got Dan Rowan right there. Rowan and Martin are known more than the Smothers Brothers.
Oh, for sure.
Laughing, for sure. But this was a byproduct of Laughing, so to speak. So, great TV back then, controversial. And every time you think of the Smothers Brothers, you don't think, hey, they were a funny duo. They were controversial, which I know a little bit about, but you got to speak your mind, and that's what you admired for. So, to Tommy Smothers, to his family, we hope we did you proud. We hope we utilized you in the right manner. And folks, remember Cumberland Chapels for all your funeral needs. You need a spick and span hearse, we got it for you. We need they'll help you out with from the coffin to the burial. And then you got the wonderful, which I was there last night with ESPN's Jesse Rogers, Pennyville Station. Joe, parting thoughts, my friend, before we say goodbye.
No, I mean, it's Tommy Smothers. Looking back and doing some homework on him for you, Mike.
Thank God.
You know, it's
You
really
forget about
impressive.
some of this stuff.
It is, and it's impressive to see someone that really spoke their mind. And honestly, it really kind of affected their careers. They could have made so much money during that time, Mike. And the fact that they spoke their truth, I give them all the respect in the world.
Yep. And before we go, I'll just say this. And most of the people that ran for the hills will probably want front row pews at Tommy's funeral. So condolences, and we'll see you next week for Somebody Big Just Died.
That's right. We will be here on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, talking about former DePaul head coach Joey Meyer.
Whoa. I got a lot of personal stories, good stories. Me and Joey had some battles, but we had some fun too.
We sure did. And we'll see you guys on Tuesday. And by then, we'll see, or we can say we'll see you next year. Happy New Year, everybody. See you next time.